A key that opens many locks is a master key. A lock that gets opened by any key is trash. If you understand, you understand. I've watched my father. People that my father has sacrificed for were the first people that would stab him in the back. Class of 96 was it.
What does it mean to be a Floreal?
The reason why we have free buses in Miami-Dade County is because of my dad. I would not trade my childhood in for nothing. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Growing up Haitian, I take great pride in that. If you carry that last name of Floreal, you are held in a higher regard than everybody else because of who my dad is. And some people might see that as, oh, that's pressure. My choice is clear.
Ephraim Floreal is a North Miami High alumnus and first-generation Haitian American dedicated to youth advocacy, mentorship, and building educational spaces that empower the next generation.
Do you see yourself in ministry to maybe follow the footsteps of your father?
As much as I want to say no, being a pastor is like being a husband and a father. Everything is on you. They demand everything from you, but give you very little in return. If you don't love it, you can't do it.
Welcome to Jules Legacy Enterprise Productions, where story connects generations. A conversation with a pioneer, a segment that celebrates the life and journey of North Miami Senior High School pioneers by bridging the past and the present to inspire the future. Behind every name, there is a story. The Floreals. Their name runs deep into church leadership. Preval Floreal, Joannem Floreal. Preval Floreal had 4 sons. Billy Floreal, Benjamin Floreal, rest in peace. Ephraim Floreal, and Joseph Floreal. It is with great pleasure to have Ephraim Floreal here in the studio from class of 96.
Best class ever. 96 will be that year. I don't care how y'all feel. Fight with y'all mamas. Don't fight with me. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Class of 96 was it.
So Ephraim.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to be a Floreal?
Well, first of all, the flow is real. The flow is real. That name, I mean, my dad made sure, I don't know if he was conscious in doing this, but just the fact of his integrity and how he was, that's one thing I've always heard about my dad, no matter what, is that, your dad is a man of integrity.
Right.
Like, we could talk about pastors in Miami, but boy, the one dude I could honestly say that's a real pastor is your dad. And I'm not just saying that because he's my dad, but I've watched this man turn down lucrative deals that would water down his ministry, that would water down his delivery. And I've watched him be a servant leader. And something you know very well, he used to run PAC, People for Acting for Community Togetherness.
Yes.
The reason why we have free buses in Miami-Dade County is because of my dad.
Wow.
It's one of the things that not many people know. Miami Herald wrote a whole piece on him. This is why we was at Grace on 65th Street. But definitely he threw the bar up there very high. And ever since we were kids, one of the first memories I remember having is, I tell people this story all the time, which is a funny story. I thought my dad's name was Pastor. Like legit, I thought that was his name because everybody, Pastor. It's one day my grandfather, my dad's father, came to the house. He says, "Oh, good Preval." I'm like, who is this Preval character?
Right.
What is this?
Right.
He's like, oh, that's your dad? I'm like, oh, he lied to me. But it's one of those things. I've always seen my dad in service to his community,
right,
in service to his people. So it's one of those things that let me know as a child of Floreal that hey, your job is leadership. Your job is to be in service,
right?
To be a servant leader. You're not here to be served, but you're here to make sure that this community that your father has given so much to sees even more, bigger and better. And my way of doing that was through youth leadership in church.
Yes. I remember your dad was a pastor and he retired from Grace Haitian United Methodist. He was a pastor for a very long time. What does that mean to be a pastor's son, to be raised in a household of a leader?
First of all, where my camera? Yes, pastor's sons are usually the worst. Yes, but I wasn't. No, but it comes with a lot of stipulations, especially in the Haitian community. I think in the African American community, or I don't know about many other communities, but they give them a little bit of wiggle room to find themselves or to figure stuff out. But in our community, pastor, yeah. I had people watching me that I didn't even know.
Of course.
I couldn't do it. Like we was talking in our segment before, I remember going to TJ and taking the Marcelo Jitney to Horace Mann to go whoop up on some people because they was whooping up on Haitians back in them days. Right. And we was throwing out, I mean to say this in a derogatory term, but some Americans, some Yanks, into the little canal over there by Larchmont. Right. And some old Zoe man that I don't even know, I'm like, oh my God, I can't live, I can't breathe. So people were always watching us. Of course. I mean, so it was one of those things that you knew. And like I said, it became known that it didn't have to be said that, if you carry that last name of Floreal, you are held in a higher regard than everybody else because of who my dad is. And some people might see that as, that's pressure. For me, it kind of made my life, my choices clear. Right. That this is what you cannot do and this is what you should do. So it was one of those things for me. I mean, once again, there was 4 of us. All 4 of us took that in a very different kind of way. Right. So for me, my take on it was, all right, so eventually I'm going to become a leader to doing this stuff.
So Ephraim, how was your upbringing like though?
Baton leve, baton. But boy, look, baton is something that I got regularly. My mom lied, by the way. She told me that baton makes you grow. I would be Shaq's height by now. But growing up, it was cool. And I tell people this all the time, I would not trade my childhood in for nothing. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Growing up Haitian, I take great pride in that. One of the things that I thank my parents for the most is teaching me the Haitian culture. Not just telling me, you're Haitian. Because a lot of Haitian parents nowadays, they take the shortcut out. So how you showing you? Why you saying? How am I going to act like something you've never taught me how to be? Right. Mm-hmm. Something that you've never showed me how to. You don't even teach me my own language. And then you just tell me I'm Haitian. You don't do this. Like, once again, I got these dreads, so you already know.
Of course.
Mind you, I'm 47. And my mom to this day, God bless her heart, you're not gonna cut him? Why? And I'm like, Mommy, look, this is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, growing up Haitian was great. I love the fact that my dad took time, even though he gave us that spiritual aspect of devotions and Bible stories and stuff like that, he made it a real, and you could tell he did this intentionally to teach us Haitian history, to learn about the Haitian heroes, not just see them in February, like Black History Month, but to teach us these things. You remember, mind you growing up hearing about dudes like Capois Christophe, Dessalines, things like that, and you're like, wow, okay, so this is what happened. I never forget this. My dad had gave my older brother Billy a copy of a book, The Black Jacobins, and I remember I want to read that. He's like, you're not old enough to read that yet. You wouldn't understand that. And I remember stealing the book from my brother, I see what I can't be reading. Right. And it gave me a bigger perspective of the French Revolution that led because that happened because of the Haitian Revolution. So to me, I was always crazy about history. Matter of fact, since we're talking about pioneers, shout out to my teacher, Mr. Rosansky, who made me fall in love with history, man, at North Miami. Right. That dude was great. He was the girls' volleyball coach also. He was one of the best teachers I had out there. The best teacher I had, dude, was Mr. Grace. Love that old man. That old man did so much for me. Him, Mr. Grace, Miss Persons, that black lady. If I am an activist today, it's because of Miss Persons. Oh, wow. If I passed high school, it's because of Mr. Sickler. Right. His math class, I needed 2 points, and he gave me them 2 points for some golf balls.
Right, nice.
But yeah, man. I loved how I grew up, man. I loved being around church people, the spiritual aspect, the cultural aspect of understanding what Haitian culture was, how it is at the same time a culture of respect, but you could see the influences that slavery had on us till the date. Like one of the main things is like, Timon ba souffle sou gamun. When you look back at it, it's one of those things that what they say kids shouldn't be whistling in front of adults. It's the slave masters wanted you to be seen and not heard. and in some instances not even seen. And when you look at it, the way a lot of old school Haitians raise their kids, you're a slave.
Right.
You don't talk, you don't say nothing, you take what I give you, and that's it. And then when you grow up, I expect that you're gonna have a great relationship with me.
Wow.
It kind of doesn't happen that way. And I never forget, my dad would tell us stories about my grandpa. And mind you, everybody would tell me that my grandpa was so scary, but to me, he was cool. And my other cousins would be like, oh no, this and that, grandpa's he a horrible dude, he'll beat kids and this, that, and the third. And he wasn't like that with me. But my dad would tell stories about how his dad beat him with a machete.
Wow.
Not knowing that if he bring that machete down, if he gonna chop him or if he getting the plata machete.
Right.
And I'm like, Grandpa did that. So it was one of them aspects where he was like, look, he didn't know better. Mm. So, but as your dad, I know better. And that's why to this day, I will always say that even though I got baton as a jit, I deserved it. I deserved it.
Right.
I did some things, but how my parents are crazy, I don't know.
So East, you got out of high school in '96. What did you do after high school?
Oh my gosh. What didn't I do out of high school? I went to Miami-Dade right after. Right. Because my grades weren't that great. Right. We gonna say that. We gonna tell the truth to shame the devil. That's what we gonna do. But going to Miami-Dade wasn't a bad thing. But all I wanted to do was play football. Right after that, I went to Bethune-Cookman.
How was that?
And what did you major in, by the way?
Religion and philosophy, and a minor in education and psychology. Now, mind you, I never graduated, but I'm smarter than a lot of people would think. And to be honest with you, it's not because I studied so much. I would say it's God-given. When you have people who are naturally smart and talented, it's hard for us to stay the course like regular people. Of course. And it's not an excuse. It's laziness on my part. But definitely, I could have done a lot better with what God gave me. Mm-hmm. Even though now I've made, I would say I'm at a place where I'm like, that's why when like Zico you had on here was saying what he was saying about going to college and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I feel my boy. I get that. But yeah, after that, went to Bethune-Cookman, tried to go out there to play football. Didn't work out too well. A lot of favoritism, things like that. Then I ended up going to Union College in Kentucky. Played ball out there. Got hurt. Came back home. Went to Broward Community College. Just was not happy with how school was, quote unquote, education. That was just the whole part. I was like, you know what, I can't. This whole being broke and trying to buy books for $380, it ain't for me. Right. I worked at PRC. Loved it. I had a boss over there that was a pioneer as well, Jennifer Phileas. Okay. The greatest boss that I have ever had. That girl taught me so much about myself and about just being somebody that people could look up to. I would definitely say a lot of my leadership style comes from a lot of things that she did. After PRC, where did I go? That's when I really went head deep into youth ministry. I went to Homestead, worked at a place called Kicks, Kids in Christ. And also I worked with the United Methodist Church. In a lot of aspects, I was actually a youth minister at an all-white church, Silver Palm United Methodist Church, which was different. But kids are kids, youth are youth. Of course. I did that. What else have I done? I've done maintenance. I could fix anything. I could build you a house if I have to. I could do that. What else? And now I'm just a regular person doing what I can, wanting to open a school, a preschool, and also have an after-school program. That's one of my biggest goals. I definitely want to get in to do that.
Do you see yourself in ministry, like as far as to maybe follow the footsteps of your father?
As much as I want to say no, because to be honest with you, ministry is a thankless job. The only thing I could compare it to, and hear me out before y'all come for me. Don't come for me. Being a pastor is like being a husband and a father. everything is on you. They demand everything from you, but give you very little in return. If you don't love it, you can't do it.
Wow.
And I say that because I've watched my father. People that my father has sacrificed for, given his last to, were the first people that would stab him in the back. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. And my dad is one of those forgive and forget people. But at the same time, you could see it erode part of him every time it would happen.
But wouldn't you say that's a part of the calling, a part of the job, as far as that you?
No. God did not call us to be treated like, I can't say the word, but a lot of times, and people get it twisted. Why is it that there are, and I would say this, it's our community that does that to our pastors, the Haitian community. Because when you look at these other communities, they ain't got no problem with their pastors, with their pastors living
Lavishly.
For a lack of better words. They don't.
Right.
Matter of fact, they love that.
Right.
Yeah, that's my pastor's Bentley parked out there. My pastor.
Right.
In the Haitian community, my dad, I'll never forget this, my dad, after my brother passed away, with some of the insurance money from what my brother got, my dad bought an Infinity FX. And the first thing people said, Kobo friend now. And this, mind you, this is the same dude. Many of the people that were there became residents in the United States. And my dad, and people could tell you this, and I don't mean to brag about him, but at the same time, it's my dad. I'm proud of him. My dad is a well-known face at Chrome Detention Center.
Oh.
Going out there, helping people out, getting people's people out, not sleeping home, sleeping in the parking lot at the Chrome Detention Center to get people's people out. And some of these same people that he did this for were the first same people, oh man, nah, you can't trust pastors out here, you know, they always out here for the Oakland money. So and for me, and I know I shouldn't, but when I look about it and don't, I'm built for people, but I hate people, Tim.
Wow.
I can't stand, when you watch people tear down good men, not just like my dad, because there's many other people out there like my dad that are very good people, good men, that would be great for our community. But their own people tear them down, chop their arms off, to the point where they are afraid to help others. And I'm a Christian, so I have to quote the Bible. Don't get weary in your well-doing. In the Bible, it says something that love will wax cold in the hearts of men. And when you look at it, not just that, but to segue into the dating scene, I'm a single dude, and I can't really say that I care to want to be married to any of these chicks out here.
Why is that?
What am I getting for what I know I'm worth that I'm going to give to this lady that I give my last name? And my last name, I'm not just gonna hand out to anybody. You ain't gonna make no clown out of me. No, sir. The name is Floreal. You gotta be real to own that name.
Yeah.
Not about to put it on some chick there. I'm walking down the mall, but like, I know that chick. Oh, we all know that chick. Once again, I did all I can to make sure that name is worth something. I'm doing all I can to make sure that me as a man, I am worth something. My community is worth something. You ain't about to tear down what I've built.
So, Ease, you're telling me you don't believe there's a female out there that's worth giving that last name to?
I didn't say that. Once again, I need you to hear me clearly. I didn't say that. I'm not red pill. I'm just a realist. And mind you, I'm 47.
Okay.
I have lived, my boy. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the heathen. I have lived, my boy.
Yeah.
So I see what's out there. And unfortunately, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great women out there.
Okay.
And like me, they stay inside.
They don't come out.
I'm not built for the streets. That's why they made sidewalks. And I don't even go get my mail on the sidewalk. That's how bad the streets are. It's horrible out there. People are looking to use people. That's all it is. I bump into the girl today. Tomorrow her bills are due. I'm talking to you. You got 3 kids and I got to take care of them, but I can't correct them. So, I mean, at the end of the day, not that I'm trying to say, what do I get at? But once again, now you're making a pastor come out of it. There's only two things in this world that God created and called a helper.
Okay.
One is the Holy Spirit, and two is a wife. Not a woman, a wife. Every woman is not a wife. We're going to say that and be honest about it.
For sure.
Get it together. You got to talk to them. Let them know. But it's difficult because not many women out there nowadays have been raised with that mindset that I am to be somebody's helpmate. And when a lot of people hear helper, what they hear is subordinate.
Right.
Once again, you bring the pastor out of me. The Hebrew word, etzer kenegro, is where you need the help, I make you better. That's the word. What's stronger, the bridge or the support that holds up the bridge?
Support.
If I'm asking you for help, you either have to be stronger than me or just as strong as me.
Right.
And that's what God is asking for a woman, for a wife to be.
So, East, let me ask you a question. As far as when it comes to men in general, right? When we're looking at as far as the whole Kevin Samuel movement, right?
Ooh, love my dog, rest in peace, R.I.P. So you know where I stand already.
So when you're talking about Kevin Samuel, you're looking at how the dating scene have changed and shift, right? Do you think men are also being held accountable?
I'm not just saying this because I'm a man. Men are always held accountable. Let's just say you have homegirls.
Right.
You have homegirls.
Yeah.
Every time somebody breaks up, whose fault is it? It's always the man.
Right.
You know and I know women have this problem with this word called accountability.
Right.
And once again, and I get it why. Men have a problem with disrespect. Women have a problem with shame. If you want a female to act weird, make them feel shame. And unfortunately, shame is one of those things that keep people in line, especially women. Because like not back in the day, graduated in '96, we had a girl almost kill herself because it came out that she was a hoe. Mind you, that's horrible. We get it. But nowadays, whole culture, they even tell, oh, you can't slut shame somebody.
What is whole culture?
I'm so glad you asked. Not that I'm a connoisseur in these things. I heard somebody told me about it. I read some books. Hey, come on, man, don't tell me this. But basically, everything is transactional. When I say transactional, money.
Okay.
If I'm going to go out on a date with you, how much are you giving me? How much money are you spending? Oh, before you could even see me, how much are you spending? You going to pay to get my hair and my nails done? You going to get me a babysitter if I'm going to go out with you? It's transactional. Like it or not, it's whole culture, prostitution. The word date, it came from a prostitute that was seeing men. The men that she saw were her dates. Because at this date, I'm going out with Charlie. On this date, I'm going out with Henry. On this date. So once again, that's why I'm old school. Old school. I love the fact that back in the day, when you look at how it was done, even in the Haitian culture, women didn't go on dates. You didn't just go randomly out and go date somebody. If I saw a girl, I would like, let's say your sister. I'd see your sister like, oh my God, I want to date your sister. Even though me and you was cool, you be like, my boy,
Right.
you got to talk to the old boy about that.
Of course.
I would have, and I wasn't even allowed to go up to your father and talk to him. I'd have to go get my dad or my uncle or my grandpa to come with me. And the adults would sit down and talk. Okay, so Pastor Ephraim, your son sees my daughter. He wants to talk to my daughter. What's so great about your son? Then my dad then would have to tell him, well, I've put my son in school. My son knows this. These are the skills my son has. This is what my family could give. This is what my family will be bringing to your family. Once again, all I did was see your sister. I don't know if her breath stank. I don't know if she walked with a limp.
Right.
All I know is I seen her and I said, yo, I like her.
Right.
One of the other reasons why I would like her is because I know what family she's from.
Right.
Oh, that's the Jules people. Oh, yeah. I heard about them boys. They get down.
Right.
They serious about what they do.
Right.
So, of course, now, if I'm going to marry into that family, I can't just be coming with just my dépoche vide or whatever. I got to have some kind of skills in my hand. Because that family has to have an exchange. I'm giving up a prime daughter to you. That's why when people say that marriage is a business, it is.
Right.
Because number one, I'm giving my name out now to your daughter, who is going to bring me children. Are they going to be healthy because of who she is and who her family is, how she takes care of herself? Is she going to be able to pour into these children that I'm going to have with her? Can she educate my children? Mm-hmm. Can she raise my children to be upstanding citizens? Or little sociopaths out here just causing trouble and mayhem? Dirty, foot draggers.
Right.
So once again, all this plays a part in it. So in the old school way, after all this was said, mind you, I have not even talked to your sister yet. Mm. Your sister has probably, your dad, after the conversation with my grandpa and my dad, was like, so Jobins, what do you think? You know East. You hang out with East. What do you think? Then you would tell him like, okay, yeah, he's this. He's not a bad dude, but this is where I see that he probably has some shortcomings. Mm-hmm. And now your dad would talk to your sister. If he was one of them parents that like, okay, I'm gonna let my daughter give me some feedback, he talk to your sister and your sister be like, well, I guess, is that family, do you think that family's a good fit for me, Pops? She would trust her father's judgment. Mm-hmm. She would trust her brother's judgment and her uncle's judgments. So she wasn't out here dating multiple people. And mind you, and we're not trying to be vulgar out here, but the more you date, the more you're getting smashed.
Right.
And all men understand this and know this. A key that opens many locks is a master key. Mm-hmm. A lock that gets opened by any key is trash. Mm. If you understand, you understand.
So, East, the president of Venezuela was captured this morning, Maduro.
Damn, they got him.
Yes, he was captured this morning.
They ain't give him the Osama bin Laden treatment. The red dots.
I believe they captured him and his wife. What is your take on that?
Once again, one thing we could point out from that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say this because I'm not about to be controversial in the Haitian community. All I'm gonna say is this: when the Haitian president was killed,
right,
he was killed by himself.
Okay.
Nothing happened to his wife.
Right. Right.
This dude got taken.
Right.
They took who?
Him and his wife.
Just saying. We're gonna leave that at that.
Right.
Now, everybody knows that the U.S. is a bully. Wherever there's oil, that place needs freedom. We gonna send soldiers.
Okay.
Once again, Venezuela, them boys got oil, as we seen from the tanker that they took from them boys. And mind you, them boys started that because you can't be shooting on the U.S. Navy. It's like, if you know that I already want what you have,
okay,
don't give me a reason to come get it, so people can see that I'm not bullying you. Don't do that. And unfortunately, they did. And the U.S. is one of them. F around and find out.
Right.
I really want you to F around so everybody can find out what I'm going to do.
What do you think of the Haiti Revolution and also the Haiti of history, as far as, because you were, I know you came here very little, right? And you spent most of your time here. Mm-hmm. And the history, of course, that's being taught to us in school is way different than
trash.
Right?
Trash.
So from your upbringing and from understanding and your own research, in your own words, what is your take on the entire revolution and where do you see us going now?
Before we get to the revolution, in Savannah, Georgia, there's a monument that I've had the opportunity to stand next to and take picture to. The Haitian soldiers came and fought for the U.S. to have independence. Mm-hmm. U.S. had independence in what, 1776?
Correct.
Haiti didn't have independence till when?
1804.
And then we had to pay France reparations to be recognized.
Right.
There's a school here in the U.S. that Toussaint Louverture sent money to. It wasn't a school yet, but the man, he sent money to get weapons. The man took Toussaint's money and opened up a school, which is a prime college nowadays. I'm not going to say no names. We going to get to the history. I'm just letting you know all that they've done us dirty. And I believe it was 1949 or 51 when the U.S. Marines came into Haiti. They took the National Bank of Haiti and moved it to New York. The National Bank of Haiti.
Right.
They took it out of Haiti and moved it to New York. Guess what bank it is today?
What bank?
Citibank.
Wow.
You know Citibank's colors are red and blue, don't you?
Of course.
So once again, it's always been them taking, even though we helped them get independence. We helped them gain independence. They didn't do it by themselves. We did that. Louisiana Purchase.
Mm-hmm.
France only sold that land because Toussaint and his boys was putting belt to cheeks in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
They was killing them. And understand, it's as if the U.S. was to go to Haiti and Haiti's whooping up on the U.S. Army. Mm-hmm. That's how bad it was. Because at the time, Napoleon was the man.
Right.
Was the guy. And one of the best books you could ever read is a book about Toussaint Louverture called The Black Spartacus.
Okay.
I read that book, and as much as I know about Haitian history, it blew my mind to know that Toussaint worked with the French, he worked with the Spanish, and he worked with the English. And he betrayed all three of them.
Wow.
For his people. But his people will always let you know that, oh, no, he did not. In the beginning, Toussaint didn't want us to be free. He wanted France to acknowledge that we are French citizens. When he noticed that France was like, y'all are just, for lack of a better term,
slaves. Yeah.
Y'all are black.
Right.
Y'all will never be us. He's like, really? No, I bet. I want it all. Even though Dominicans want to act how they act, I know black, Papa, I know black. We freed them.
Right.
From Spain. And as flicker as they are, when they celebrate independence, it ain't their independence from Spain. They celebrate their independence from Haiti.
Wow.
The island belongs to us. You pay rent, my boy. We let you live here. Haiti has as the Haitians would say, the papier-tête to the whole island of Hispaniola.
Right.
If we was to decide, y'all boys gotta go, they couldn't take us to any court in this world. But we're nice.
So where is Haiti going now?
You see what's going on over there in the south part of Haiti?
Right.
Now the north, the great north.
The great north.
Where most of the heroes of the Haitian Revolution come from, the Hokap boys. But we ain't gonna talk about that like that. But it's a lot of bad planning, not just planning, and I would definitely say the U.S. has a lot to do with how Haiti is being ran. U.S., Canada, France, it has a lot to do with the state that Haiti is in. From all the different regime changes, the people that they put in power to get what they want out of Haiti, the Clintons. If I end up dead, y'all know why. Because everybody that said something about them people, they end up drowning. I swim very well, by the way. So if I end up drowning, it's not because I couldn't swim. Them Bloods did it. But it's just too many hands, man. Too many hands on Haiti. And also, you have to understand, we are the first black republic.
Right. We
were the first to abolish slavery in the Western Hemisphere, in the world. The first. To the point where as a kid, I remember my dad telling me this, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Dessalines said, any person who touches the airspace of Haiti as a slave is free. Mm-hmm. Any slave that would run up on a Haitian soldier wherever they may find themselves in the world are free. Guess where Haitian soldiers were at that time?
Where?
Louisiana.
Right.
In the South. You had slaves in America running up to Haitian soldiers, running up on Haitian ships to become free.
Wow.
Stuff that they won't teach you in history.
Right.
Let's fast forward a little bit. During the Jim Crow era in the South, a lot of black people were leaving, going to Haiti. Black American people going to Haiti. They won't tell you that.
Why?
Racism. I'd rather go to a country where there's nothing but black people. One of the biggest things that bothered me when I came to America as a kid, like you said, I've been here for a while. My dad went to Asbury College in Lexington, Kentucky. And he came before we did, and then after a while he came and got us. 1980 we came to America. Mind you, I lived in Haiti. Haiti's a country of black people. There's a few white tourists and white that tourism was booming at the time. The cruise ships would come in to what is now La Badie, but they would come in through Okap, and I remember that going to La Ville. And it was great. The women would wear their cultural clothes, the men with their guayabels and all that stuff, and the tourists would go down. And it was just like Louisiana in the French Quarter. They would open up those doors and they would stand on those balconies, and the tourists would walk down there. The women would throw flowers down.
Of course.
Beautiful stuff. As a kid, I remember these things. So it's like black people. Yeah, they're white people. Then I remember we came to Kentucky. And I'm like, what's all these white people at the airport? What is this? My dad was like, this is their country. I'm like, there's a lot of them. My dad was like, yeah, this is what they do. And then the first time a black kid, a white kid called me black, I said, my dad, he don't know his colors. I'm brown. What is this? That's what my dad had explained to us. You remember I told you all about Haitian history, slavery. And mind you, I'm 3.
Wow.
And my dad is giving us this information.
Right.
So I hate when people say, oh, my kids are too young to learn about da-da-da-da-da-da. Once a kid understands his place in this world, it's kind of hard for you to derail that kid. Because now I know what my point of reference is. I know where I need to go. I know how I need to move. And if people don't teach the child that child's lost already.
You adopted a son, and now he's in college.
Yes, I did.
Walk us through the process. Why and how does it feel to have your adoptive son in college?
At what age did you adopt him?
Gosh, but he was in middle school still when I adopted. He's 23 now. Man.
Oh, wow.
He's balling out at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C.
He plays football?
Yes. He played football. It shames me to say this, Pioneers. It shames me. Them 3 championships, them 4 championships that Miami Central won back to back.
Wow.
He was on all of them teams.
Oh, wow.
All of them. At least he wore green. Some kind of green. It wasn't green and gray, but I actually had to chill for Central. I washed my hands after every game. Washed my face and cried in the tub. This could have been Pioneers.
What position you play?
Defensive end.
Okay.
That boy got to the ball. And it's funny because I told, and he's Pastor Idzi's son. Idzi Alexi. He passed away the same week my brother died.
I remember.
He was supposed to give the message at my brother's funeral, and he ended up passing away. And I remember I've seen that boy like once or twice. And I told my dad, dang, Pops, what happened to that boy? And my dad was like, well, he's in Haiti, but they're not treating him that well. You know, they don't have a lot of resources for deaf people and stuff like that. And I was like, dang, that's messed up. You should adopt him. My dad looked at me and said, I did my time already. I raised 4 boys. Why don't you adopt? I said, Pops, I can't even buy drawers for myself right now. How dare you?
Right.
And I like spending money on my truck and going places and traveling. I ain't got time for that. And then I just remember saying, like, dang, somebody's got to do something. And I had talked to his mom once or twice. She was like, well, you know, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. This would be cool. Saying it that easy, not knowing what it entails when you are somebody's dad, quote unquote.
Right.
And mind you, he doesn't speak, so I had to learn sign language.
Oh wow.
And to this day, I don't know if it's my old Haitian brain. When he reads lips, don't feel bad for him.
Right.
He reads lips. In English, Creole, and in French.
Oh wow.
So he when he want to act up, I don't play with me, boy. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. It's gonna sound mean, but I say this all the time. I thank God that boy didn't talk back. Ooh, the bloqué cake. But nah, he's cool. He's a good kid. Very smart. Outrageously smart. Adopting a kid is never something easy. You might think you're a great dad or I'm an awesome youth leader. This will be a walk in the park. This is going to be a breeze. Yeah, right. No, it's not. There's a lot of things that go into it. But I definitely glad that I adopted somebody and I didn't have to change diapers and this, that, and the third. But it's if I had to do it again, I would say this. If and when I don't get married, or even if I do get married and have kids of my own, I will adopt about 2 or 3 other children. Because I really think that it's something that should be done.
Right. There's
a lot of great kids that need positive male and female role models in their lives. So it's definitely something that I would advocate for. I love it. Like every kid, they're ungrateful. It's not because they are maliciously ungrateful. Kids are selfish.
Right.
That's what they are. It's part of what they are. Everything's about me. The older he got, the more I realized that he realized that, oh my God, this dude's not bad. He's actually a pretty good dude. Now, I'm not going to say that I did everything great.
Right.
Because it's my first time being a dad. I mean, if only I had a dog and some cats.
Right.
And they took care of themselves. But for the most part, it was a learning effort, which humbled me greatly.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, I'm patient. I'm cool. I'm calm. Then I find myself about to do to this boy what Homer Simpson did to Bart. I'm like, so this is why my dad would look at my cat sometimes. Okay, I get it.
But how did he play football while he was, deaf?
Funny thing, Buddy saw my football helmet in the room. He was in middle school at the time, and he was like, "You play football?" I was like, "Yeah, I played football. I was actually pretty good at football." And he was like, I would like to learn. And because one of the biggest things I always told him, because he would always, in middle school when we first started and we first met each other, he would always tell me, oh, I can't do this because I can't hear. I can't do this. I said, my dude, give me that excuse again, I'm going to punch you in your chest. I said, there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. The world is a horrible place for young black men. And for you to already cripple yourself by saying that you can't do something, I'm not having it. So when he asked me to teach him, in my mind, I was like, how you gonna do this? And he can't even hear. How you gonna hear the snap down? And I had to stop myself from saying, so you about to block this boy?
Right.
And I was like, let me show you how this is done. Showed him a few things, 3-point stance, things like that. And I told him, watch the ball. Watch the ball. Don't pay attention to the dude in front of you. Watch the ball. Gave him regular little pointers. If we start lifting weights, funny story. This boy was benching 205, and he was talking trash, not knowing that I'm me.
Right.
I was in North Miami's gym with Moose,
right.
Them boys. Jit looked at me and my Jit pushed up 205. I said, what's that? He said, oh, you talking to me? I said, I'm old, I'm fat, and I'm out of shape, but watch this. I threw up 315 on there. Looked at me in the Jit. After I hit it 5 times, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, my shoulder was done for a month.
Of course.
But I had to prove my point.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where you learn things, ups and downs with parenting and stuff. But I would definitely, and I say this to people, I would not mind being a stepfather to someone who understands that this man is sacrificing his resources to take care of me, who is not his biological father, and that is grateful. And for a woman who understands this man loves me and loves my child, and is going to discipline my child to make him into a better man or better woman than I could have alone, I have no problem with being a stepfather. But both the mother and them children have to understand and be grateful. Because nowadays it's like, give me, and I could care less. You ain't my daddy.
Right.
Oh, no. The minute you hit me with that, you ain't my daddy, I will never be. Never be. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I could see you dying. I wouldn't spit on you to put out the fire.
So you adopted a child, right?
Yes, sir.
But do you want to have any of your own? Like, do you actually want to birth a child?
My dude, I have these awesome nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm gonna kidnap both of my brother's children. Those children are awesome. And even my brother's stepdaughter, Aaliyah, she is an awesome human being. I love being an uncle, but the one thing I want more than anything in this world, I would love to be a girl dad.
Wow.
Like just legit love. And funny enough, the one person that made me feel that way was your little sister, Shirley.
Wow.
She was, I tell her this all the time, she was my favorite Sunday school student ever. If she's hearing this, yes, she was my favorite Sunday school ever. But yeah, I was like, it would be cool. Because she was smart. She knew what to say, how to say it. I was like, I would love to see a chick. Yeah, I would love to have a girl. Because little boys are nasty. They gross. Oh, God, I don't know how my mom survived with 4 of us. But little boys are gross. My son included, he was nasty. That boy, I'm not going to tell stories about him. I'm going to leave him alone and let him be great.
So, East, what's next for you in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I would love, and I'm saying this out loud, and I know how they say a lot of times, remain quiet and don't say nothing until it happens. But I'm putting this out just because I know that my God is the Almighty for a reason. Not any other God has that name but Him, the Almighty, because He can't do this. So whatever hater is that's gonna try to stop or block this, don't be a job. Mm-hmm. I want to have a franchise of private schools, not just in the state of Florida, but anywhere and everywhere that I can put them in. And one of the things I want to focus on the most is financial literacy, because I think that's the one thing in our community that's really killing us and choking us. And a lot of the stuff I've learned, within the last 5 years, I've been on this crazy trip of learning stuff, financial stuff. What is credit? How do you use credit? What money really is? People run towards money as if it's the end all be all. Money is a tool. Mm-hmm. Money's not the end all be all.
Right.
Most rich people don't use their own money.
Right.
And I'm giving y'all free game right now, which I shouldn't. Y'all should go buy the book. But definitely. And the other thing is, because I noticed, and I want to say this with a grain of salt, most of the teachers that you find in our teaching, and I want to say this, I love teachers. Big up the teachers. Teachers are awesome. But the fact that you're underpaid, are you going to put forth a great effort? And especially you got to deal with somebody else's little knucklehead jit. Mm-hmm. God bless the teachers that go out there and put that great effort in every day. And the ones that they used to and don't, I understand. I'm not going to say you should stay that way, but I understand. So, and also the fact that a lot of us don't see teachers that look like us. They don't understand our culture. They don't understand where we come from. And I learned this when I was working in Homestead at the youth program. A lot of the Haitian kids were treated as though they were Black Americans. And this one, I never forget this, the lady was yelling at this little kid, said, "Look at me in my eyes." Both of us know in the Haitian culture,
you don't do that.
And to them, they felt like the kid was not looking them in their eyes because he was guilty and he was wrong. And I had to tell her, no, understand the culture of the people that you're dealing with. Understand your demographic. The Haitian culture, you don't look at adults in the eye.
Right.
She said, "Well, you're looking at me." I said, "I'm a grown man. Yeah, I'm gonna look at you in your eye." And I said, I'm a hybrid. I have lived in this American culture. So I've taken the good and the bad from both cultures, passed it through my own filter, and I have made a hybrid out of it. So I know how to, like some people say, code switching. When I'm in the Haitian presence, I act accordingly.
Right.
When I'm in American's presence, I act accordingly.
Right.
So I've learned how to do that. So definitely, that's one of the other reasons I want to start these schools, after school programs, daycares, and stuff like that, because I believe you have to start with children when they're young.
Right.
Daycare centers teach them little games about money, about how to move it around, about how to invest your money, how to do certain things. And I think the powers that be, the 1% that's doing all this, don't want all of us to know this kind of information. Because once we learn this, we are no longer slaves. Basically, since the game is being played on our backs, the minute we stand up, the game's over with for those people that have all the wealth and all the infrastructure. And I think it's definitely a thing that we definitely need to do. And I've said this a lot. I didn't come to this country to die and be buried here. I plan on going back to Haiti and putting in some good infrastructure, making big things happen. Just like I want to start schools here, I would love to see them in Haiti. And I've said this all the time. Before I die, 2 things I want to see, and one of them look like it might happen. Haiti win the World Cup and see Haitian athletes win landslide victories in the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely think that if somebody doesn't go back to Haiti and create, because once again, I'm not saying it's simple. I'm not saying it's easy. A little country like Bahamas, 17 miles.
Mm-hmm.
They winning gold medals in the Olympics.
Right.
Jamaica, our step family. I can't even call them cousins because they look like us. Jamaica looks like Haiti.
Right.
They're winning. So why can't we? And we have that legacy of being who we are, the warriors. Why can't we? Because nobody's putting that investment in there. It's one of those things that I definitely want to go back to Haiti to do, especially with sports, because we have athletes. These boys in the mountains, on the rocks, barefoot.
Right.
We got athletes. These boys playing soccer with Zola and shit. We have athletes.
Right.
If somebody were to feed them with good nutrition, put some good education in their head, and teach them the skills, oh gosh, superpower all day, every day.
So East, you said a youth leader. You adopted a child also. So if you can speak to somebody that's graduating from North Miami High, let's say 2025, 2026 this year, and give them some great advice on how to become successful and to live a honest and truthful life, what would you tell them?
Is this a male or a female or both?
Both. Let's say both.
I'm gonna give them.
And also, we would like for you to actually talk into that camera directly.
I'm gonna give you the same advice I gave my nephew that I love a whole lot. Joseph Preval Jr. Oh, my little brother put my daddy whole name in that boy name. My dad did not know how to act. As a young man, I'm gonna talk to the man first. As a young man, don't go out chasing women. Don't go out trying to be flashy. Find your purpose in life, or while you're finding your purpose, go to school. Understand what you're going to school for. Not everybody has to go to university. Find a trade. Plumbers make just as much as surgeons nowadays. And there's a lot of plumbers that are retiring, so that's open. It takes 9 to 10 months to get a trade. And financial aid covers it. Miami Lakes Tech, where I graduated from. A lot of other places. Get your trade. Learn the trade in 10 months. Then go to college or university. Because by then you're a professional going to school. So if you get a job, you're not getting a 9-to-5 job working at Piggly Wiggly, 7-Eleven or whatever. No disrespect to those people. All jobs are great. Make that money by all means. Be able to take care of yourself. As a young man, you are only valuable for what you can provide. The only other woman that will ever love you is your mama, and some mamas don't even love you like that, to be honest with you, my boy. So get in there, learn something, put a skill in your hand. Because once you have that skill, it doesn't mean you don't have to go to school if you don't want to. But if once you get that skill, you're getting paid on a professional level. You graduated at 17, By the time you're 19, you're a professional plumber, a professional HVAC, professional carpenter, professional mechanic. And they find jobs for you. They help you get into a job. So you're getting paid already at that age of 19, you're getting paid more than what your parents making that works that regular 9 to 5. And let's say you do decide you want to go to college, because a lot of things in life, without that paper, without that diploma, you can't go any further. So by then you can support yourself in college because you have a professional job. Then after a while, you find someone, not because they freaky, not because they look good. Big booties don't last forever. I'm going to tell you that right now, my boy. BBLs in 20 years look horrible. So once again, go out there, do it for you, and get it done, because at the end of the day, you got a legacy to leave behind for your family. Make your last name worth something to that child that you will have. Now, for the young women, same thing I told the boys. You are only as valuable. Women are born with their value. You already start off with an A. If by the time you're 30, you end up with an F, that's because you've done been around and you done let them pass it around and do whatever they wanted. You already have value. Maintain that value. Add on to that value. I'm not telling you to go out there to go be no boss chick or do whatever. Now, if you could do that, by all means, do that. But make sure you understand who you are, what you want out of life, and what you're here to help somebody do with. Because at the end of the day, like I said, there's only 2 things in this world that God called a helper. 1 is the Holy Spirit and 2 is a wife. So you are in very high demand. A good woman, a virtuous woman, who could find. And when you do find her, she's worth more than rubies. That's what the Bible said. And the last thing I would say to both of them, make sure you have your feet planted real firm spiritually. Have a relationship with God. Get to know God. Get to know God. Not this fake religion stuff that they got going on out here. Not this prosperity gospel. Not this. No. Get to know God for real. Don't be lazy and let your pastor tell you things. Open up your Bible yourself. Get to know God. Have a prayer time. Have devotion. That's the advice I would have for any young person that's graduating this year.
And at this time, we would like to thank all our continuous sponsors: Easy Formal Wear, Gourmet Gathering, Chick-fil-A Miami Shores, and Comprehensive Health Center. And most importantly, we want to thank you, our viewers and listeners, for tuning in every week. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.